love it, love it, love it. Love the energy, love the vibes, love how you guys look. Some of you hit the brief, some of you shame. You tried, it's okay, it's okay. But I'm kidding, you guys all look incredible, you look amazing. For those of you who don't know, my name is Cassie. I head up communications for us here at Uber. And I'm super, super, super excited to have you guys here with us today to talk about, drum roll, Uber Moto! Okay, now, for those of you who, some of you don't know, some of you asked me, what is Uber Moto? That's okay. As Uber, we've introduced a new product into the market, super low cost, affordable, convenient, and really just to help solve kind of some of those last mile, first mile travel solutions. And I'm gonna introduce Dipesh just now, our GN for Uber Sub-Saharan Africa. He's gonna tell you a little bit more about the why behind Moto, the heart behind Moto, which is also really important, and especially as we think about transport in South Africa. Our goal at Uber is to reimagine the way the world moves, okay? And that's for everybody. It's not just for the people who are hopping into an Uber Black, but maybe you're hopping into an Uber Go. We're trying to create solutions for absolutely everybody across the market, that you have something that can solve the problem for you, and you can tap into any kind of opportunity by not having to think about your transport needs, right? So that's really who we are, what it is that we're trying to do. And today, I hope all of you are going to hop onto a moto. Okay, so how the day's gonna work, we're gonna invite Dipesh to come up. He's gonna give us a little bit of a presentation. And then crucial for us is safety. Okay, safety is number one. So I'm gonna hear from Colin. Colin is sitting over there, wait for us. Colin, thank you very much. Colin is our head of platform safety, and he's gonna come and give us safety demonstration. How do you get on a bike? Tell us a little bit about the helmet. Where do you hold your driver? Do you get nice and President Haftar? Or is there maybe a better way to do that, right? So that's one of the things that we're going to do. I also want to spotlight some of our drivers as well who've introduced Moto to the market. So we should just give them a max around which one. In the back, and then once that's done, we have a very short agenda, so quick. Don't worry about that. You're going to have the opportunity to ride around the track on Moto. Okay, so super fun. Also, we've got some swag. Swag is always great. Love the swag bag. So do pick one up on the way out as well when you leave. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to hand over to our fearless leader, Dipesh Thomas.
Morning, everyone. I'm Dipesh, as Cassie has kindly introduced me. I am the General Manager for Uber Sub-Saharan Africa, which includes SAs on our key markets. Firstly, welcome, and I hope you're here to have some fun and also learn a lot about our product that we just launched a couple of months ago. At Uber, we have a clear mission, as Cassie said. We want to reimagine the way the world moves for the better, and that's actually why we're here today. We're here to understand Moto and how it fits into our clear vision in terms of safety, affordability, and accessibility. So before I kick off, let me just start off in terms of a personal story of the first day I tried as the Uber Moto ride, which I hope you all try today as well. I was just over a month and a half into my role, and we were launching Uber Moto, and still getting up to speed with Uber as a business, understanding everything, and all of a sudden I hear we're launching a two-wheel proposition, rides and motorbikes, and I was like, jeepers. This doesn't exist in South Africa. It surely won't work. But I realized I was actually thinking about it from a point of privilege. I'm someone who takes Uber Blacks and Uber Comforts and Uber Goes, have my own car, and I never realized the different perspective that exists in terms of people in South Africa who have to travel between 25 and 40 kilometers a day on average. Often they have to walk between 3 and 5 kilometers between public transportation and their work. And what this actually means is that people have to wake up as early as 4 a.m. just to get to work at 8 a.m. And I realized I was looking at it from a point of privilege. So the first time I tried Uber Moto, I was fortunate enough to have Menzi, who was an experienced driver, who's right over here. He took away all of my nervousness. I've never actually been on the back of a motorbike before other than in Thailand, which is a completely different story, which I'll share after this if you like. So I got onto the back, and the first thing I was like, I wondered is, where do I actually hold on? So I held on to Menzi on his stomach, and I was like, this is a bit awkward. Um, but he was fine. He didn't display any levels of discomfort. So then I realized there's actually handlebars to hold on to. So I figured out, okay, let me just hold onto the handlebars. Menzi took me around. We started off slow, and I was quite nervous. It's something I've never tried before, but I realized, firstly, I'm wearing a helmet. Menzi's clearly experienced, and he's got lots of training in terms of what to do. And my fears were quickly disappeared. And after the first trip, I actually took a few more trips just to kind of experience it more and more. And I realized this is actually something that is actually not as new as we should think of it, and it's not actually as scary as we think of it right now. So that was my first experience, and I'd love to hear everyone's experience today. And I hope every single person takes a trip today around the circuit. Just in terms of why, and I've spoken about it already, but we've launched Uber Moto in other markets, whether it's markets that have existing motor cultures like in India or in Egypt, or markets that have never had Uber Moto, like in Mexico. And everything we do, we put safety first, and we realized that we are actually the best provider to bring Uber Moto into a market like South Africa that doesn't have a safety culture. We worked hand in hand with government to make sure that this is legal, and we're in the process of getting the bylaws gazetted. We're also committed extremely to safety, as I mentioned. So helmets are non-negotiable, both for the rider as well as the driver. Driver evaluations, vetting, and onboarding is extremely important for us as well, as you can see from our high caliber of motor drivers over here. And we don't compromise on safety whatsoever. Hygiene is also important. You'll notice that every single motor rider and driver has hair nets that we swap for every single ride. And affordability, of course, is really important. Again, looking at it from a point of privilege, this is a completely different modality of transportation for those in need, for those who walk 4 to 5 kilometers a day, for those who don't have access to transportation outside of a typical public transport route, and for those who just can't afford an Uber Go or an Uber Back or Uber Comfort on a regular basis. So affordability is really important, and our trips start from as little as 18 Rand a trip. And what's really important is that we were making this accessible and safe, and we plan to scale this out. We're busy testing it out in pilot. We're being very responsible about it. So we've selected a specific area in Johannesburg West. Our motos are branded blue, and there's a reason for that in terms of safety. The helmets are branded blue. We've got highly visible safety jackets as well. And we're trying this out and rolling it out slowly until we get to a point that we're comfortable that we can scale this out into a much broader region. And again, as I said, I believe it's going to make a huge impact, not just on transport affordability and accessibility, but also on economic empowerment. Because the target segment we're looking at over here are the people that are walking to work, people that could actually be spending those hours working or resting or spending time with family. And right now they're spending many, many hours in commute. So in terms of that, I encourage everyone to take a Uber ride, share your thoughts with me. And this is the beginning of us transforming and introducing a brand new kind of modality of transportation to this market, and essentially allowing transportation to a segment that's completely been underserved. Lastly, I'd love to thank the team here. Although I'm the one giving the presentation, every single person here has been phenomenal in terms of executing and launching the product. The reason the product is only 18 Rand, the reason the product is safe and live in the market is purely because of the team here. And special thanks to Cassie and her team for the event today. And again, just as a reminder, we're here to have fun. Please engage, please ask questions, and I'd love to get your feedback, and please share your thoughts on your first motor trip. Thank you very much.
Demonstration. A lot of the safety features that Dipesh called out and more that are available. Colin, our head of safety, is going to do some live demonstrations as well. So, Colin, over to you.
Good morning. I'm the loudest member of the team, so just bear with me. I'm kidding. So,
He's not.
no, I am kidding. She's not. So, maybe before I do the demo, I just want to touch on the few key points just to emphasize what Dipesh has said, especially on safety. So, as you know, safety is one of our key values. So if ever you go look at Uber values online everywhere else, you'll find that there's a value specifically that is focused on safety. It's called hashtag stand for safety. So it's very important for me to give a bit of a context on that is because for us to elevate safety to a value, company value, is because we understand that as a business, the kind of work that we do, reimagining how people move around the world, sort of requires us to be extremely responsible. And I will also give you some of the examples that emphasizes the point of why hashtag stand for safety is so important and how is organizations globally sort of affirming our position. But let me try to read the speech that Casey wrote for me first. Cool. So when it comes to safety, globally, we have a very big team and a lot of partners that we have partnered with to help us build all the safety tools and controls and the technology that are required. So for drivers and for riders that are going to be taking this Uber Moto product on the day-to-day, you will see a lot of things, including features, tools, controls, education, and all that. All those things that we're building, we have partnered with some of the best companies in the world, some of the best NGOs in the world to put them together just to make sure that whatever the message that we're going to be pushing to you and whatever the tools and controls that we're going to be pushing to you sort of gives you the comfort that Uber is emphasizing the point of hashtag stand for safety as a value. But what I want to talk to you about today are key features or key controls that we have built into this Moto product. The first one is protective gear. So if you look at our amazing drivers who are sitting there, right? Every driver that gets onboarded on Uber will get 2 helmets, the motorbike. His helmet and the rider's helmet. He will also receive a safety jacket, which is a visibility jacket and a safety jacket at the same time. So if I look at that jacket, right, if ever I was to wear it myself, you will think I'm a hunk. And there's a reason behind that. It's because it's padded. So there's something called safety padding that needs to be on a jacket that a motorbike rider wears. That's why you see these guys who drives the Harley Davidsons that you think they're cool and all that. They're probably like me, just that they're wearing good jackets. I'm telling you, half of them, they're not as buffed as me. I can tell you that for sure. So it's very important for us to emphasize things like that because the padding means that if ever something happens to you, you've got physical protective things that are embedded on your jacket that are going to protect you in the case of a very bad accident if ever it happens. Then they also have like the what you call the beeps, the visibility vest and all that. This is very important if ever, let's say you're going in areas where it's dark, maybe it's late in the night, winter, in June, you know, the lighting is not very good. It's very important. But even the jacket do have like the strips where you can be able to see from far that there's somebody who's riding. It's very important in terms of visibility. If ever like a driver like myself is driving behind a motorbike, I definitely want to see something that is visible because I'm not a very good person when it comes to eyesight. Then on the helmets, maybe going to the point of helmets, right? For every helmet that we had, right? And for every trip that is going to be happening, right? Every rider that is going to request it, they will also get what we call hairnets. So I once gave a very interesting speech at work on the reasons why we must have hairnets. Hey. All I can say that was very difficult to have lunch after that speech in the kitchen, but it was interesting. But very important for hygiene. So that we don't find ourselves in a situation where people want to use our helmets, people want to use Moto, but they are concerned about hygiene. So the hairnet solves that aspect. Then let me just quickly move to driver qualification and vet Because it's very important for you to understand that the drivers that we are onboarding, guys, like these are professionals. They're better than me by far. So in case you see me driving a motor trip someday, you must know that I'm very well trained. I'm at that level. But all drivers go through what we call driver evaluation. It's a very important process. So we have a company that we have partnered with. This company trains advanced driving drivers, usually with companies like your BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and all that. So they train their drivers as well. So we partnered with that company to help us build a motor-specific driver evaluation course that every driver, before they go online, they have to pass it. It means that if ever you can go and get your, let's say, a motorbike license tomorrow, and come to us and say, yeah, now I'm ready to go online. We're still going to test you if ever you got it or you got it, if you know what I mean. So the evaluate thoroughly, and I don't think I'll pass the test, me, genuinely, after going through the test and observing. Then, that's it on the driver evaluation and the vetting of the drivers, right? Then there's something that is very important as well that is available. And this point that I'm going to talk about now is also available across all the Uber products. Something that we call emergency access or emergency assistance. You know, we have partnered with one of the biggest players in the market, in fact, in Africa, in terms of emergency services, security, and medical assistance and road assistance. So if you go in your in-app and press on the blue safety show on your trip and click emergency assistant, whether by you just clicking that button, whether you take the call or you make a call or not, you get linked to a company called Aura. And Aura will dispatch private security to wherever you are within a matter of minutes whenever you need assistance. It means that if ever you take a motor trip and something happens, doesn't matter what it is, if you press that button, you are going to get assistance in a matter of minutes. And you can test it today if ever you want to. Just test it and say, Colin said I must try. And then you'll see what's going to happen. And then moving quickly to the other in-app safety features that you have. You have live GPS tracking. You can share your motor trips with your loved ones. If ever, let's say you want to take a motor trip or you want to take any other trip and you want somebody in your family, your next of kin, your friend, or whoever, you can actually share those trips. And those trips can be tracked directly on the map. You can see where everything is happening. And there are many other safety features. If ever I start to talk about our safety toolkit, guys, I can spend the whole day because it's such a very extensive portfolio of safety features. But going towards my conclusion, I just want to say we also have invested a lot in education. So you see, the drivers who are onboarded, they go through extensive education in terms of the do's and don'ts. And for the riders who are going to be taking motor, you will also be receiving the same educations. Some of the education that you're going to get into will also demonstrate to you how do you mount, how do you get off, how do you wear, and all that. It's very important for us to pass on the very important messaging that is required as well. So you should anticipate that. And some of the education is so advanced that we went to specific vendors like your Honda company to get them to develop specific education for drivers in terms of how do they even navigate a situation where there's high traffic, a situation where you are working with intersections that are busy and all that. So there's so much investment that we put in. Then in conclusion, motor safety is such a big thing. I can tell you now, I think last week, if I'm not mistaken, I met with the global head of road safety just to review what are the new things that needs to be developed. They are building on top of the safety features that they have now. They want to customize certain features to be focused only on motor product. So don't be surprised in the coming weeks or months before you get on motor, you get a reminder to wear a helmet. It's because those are some of the things that we're starting to push it. You get your app talking to you, like probably a white lady, you say, put on your helmet before you get on. Just for us to remind you what are the important things for you to do. So there is a very big focus on motor, and there's so much investment that is being made on motor as a product globally. to make sure that we get the right product to the people in the right way. So I think from my side, that's pretty much it. But just one thing that I want to remind you is that Uber is building a platform for riders and drivers that so that they can trust for every ride, every time they take it. So you can be very comfortable when you leave here today that this product is being taken care of with the best team in place, the best care that we can put on the product, and the best due diligence that needs to be made. So from myself to you guys, I'm saying c'est la vie. Let's try it out.